Welcome back. Let's talk about Seattle, Washington, because there's 737,000 people that live there, and it could be important to them, and it could be important to you as well. So thank you for joining me, and let's just jump in. So if you're new to my channel, I like to cover the areas outside of the Seattle city limits. Usually I cover like Everett, Linwood, Kirkland, that sort of thing. But for the new year, I wanted to actually kick off with Seattle proper, because there's a lot of homes that are sold usually inside of Seattle, and Seattle is our biggest metropolitan for the Washington market. Also, I wanted to get into some of the specifics, and I wanted to just kind of walk you down on it. So there's 737,000 people that live inside of Seattle, Washington, and the median household income is $115,000. Right now, our bachelor degrees or higher is about 67%, and there's actually 368,000 housing units inside of Seattle. Now, of these housing units, we're actually going to get into the actual market and what actually sold. Because if you come to me and you say, "Hey, Victor, I want to buy a house inside of Seattle, Washington," I'd be like, "Great." Right now, there's 899 available for purchase inside of Seattle, and I just pulled these numbers about an hour ago. Of the 899. The average cost per square foot available right now is $667 a square foot, and the average home comes out to $1.14 million. It's also been on the market for 98 days, 2.5 bedrooms, 2 bath, and about $1,675. This is the big rub here, and this is what I want to actually talk about. I don't usually actually cover this until later into the videos, but the price per square foot for the homes that are available on market right now are actually 15% higher, almost 20% higher than the homes that have actually sold. And this is one of the big reasons why there's 899 of them available for purchase, and they are averaging 99 days on market. Now, if you come to me and you say, "Hey, Victor, I want to know what the average house looks like," I'd say, "Great, I already got you, and I did all those numbers for you." But inside of Seattle, Washington, I'm using this on a trackpad, just so you know, because I've actually been having some issues with my computer here. But if you come to me and you say, "Hey, Victor, I want to actually buy a house inside of Seattle, Washington, and I want to know what it runs and what's the average," I say right now the average house in the market right now is 1,681 square feet. And that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. Now, this is not a condo or a single family unit or something with multiple stories. This is just an average house, just so you have an idea of what it looks like. I don't have a lot of things like condition, how many floors, if it's new or old. I just aggregated literally everything that was available on the market, and I come out with the 1,680 square foot home with 3 beds and 2 bath, just so you have something to mentally picture. Well, if you want this house, it would cost you right now about $945,000 to buy. Last year, it would cost you about $922,000 to actually purchase this. And that means that prices went up about 2%. Now, the year before that, it was actually close to $960,000. And the year in 2020, in December of 2020, it was $810,000. So it went up 18% from 2020 to 2021, and 2021 to 2022, it actually went down almost 4%, and then it went up to 2.3% this last year. Now, the big thing that I want to get into is actually the sales volume going inside of Seattle. So in 2020, in December, we had 1,026 homes were actually sold inside of December of 2020. In 2021, it kept almost the exact same pace, and it was 1,015 homes were sold. The big hang up, and this is what we ran into last year. Last year we had interest rates change. They actually doubled, almost tripled, depending on who you're actually talking to. Our sales volume went down to 538 homes were sold inside of Seattle last year in 2022 of December. So it went down 47%. Well, this last year inside of 2023 December, we only sold 420 homes inside of Seattle, Washington, and that was another 22% decrease. This is what I've been watching and I've been tracking because this is a very sizable change of the market, and this is not seasonal. I want to actually take this moment and actually tell you guys, I hear a lot of the times out there from other people in the market saying, hey, this is a seasonal slowdown. It's not, because I'm looking at the historical numbers, and this is not a seasonal slowdown. This is actually a slowdown because of a lot of different factors, and I'm not an economist. I'm just a real estate agent with an Excel spreadsheet, but I can actually tell you one of the main things is because it actually costs less to rent this house right now than it does to buy it. And not only that, debt to income for a lot of people is being close to exceeded, and the home affordability is one of the issues. I'm not going to bore you with that kind of stuff, but it's the things that I think about when I actually go to sleep at night. Because this average home, like I said, it's 1680 square feet, 3 beds, 2 bath. If you were to rent it right now, it costs you about $4,300, maybe $4,400 a month. But if you want to turn around and buy this, at a minimum, it's going to cost you $5,900 to $6,000 a month, and that's not including your HOAs, your taxes, your insurance, or even special assessments. So even if I'm using the most beneficial, the most generous, interest rate right now, it's still 136% more to buy right now than it is to rent. And this is one reason why we're seeing people actually stay in the market in their houses where they're at. And they're not entering the market is what I meant to say. But I want to specifically go into this because it's really, this is what I do. I'm a real estate agent. You can contact me right here. And at the same time, I want to make myself available for you because I represent both buyers and sellers in the state of Washington, and I'd love to work with you as well. And as always, it was a pleasure working with you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.